Hi, good morning, Dylan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's Ashley from Income Division. I spoke to you about those benefits through your union 166.
Huh?
Is your wife Mary there?
Yeah, she's over here.
Oh, okay, perfect. Hi, Mary. Can't you hear me?
Hi. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I have your benefits here, and I really love that they have me using the Zoom. It makes things go a lot faster. But don't worry, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. So while I get things set up, how long have you guys lived in Texas?
All our life.
What? Really?
Yep. Yep.
Huh.
Born and raised.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you guys have children together?
Yeah, we have three kids.
Okay. Okay. And are they older, younger? Got littles?
I've got a 9-year-old about to be 10. 6-year-old daughter's about to be 7, and then we're about to have a 1-year-old next month.
Oh, wow, you got a full household. I've only got one. She's 8. So my
It is a
life's
full
pretty,
house.
yeah, my life's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how long have you been with that union?
I think I'm going on 10 years now.
Oh, okay, okay. And you like it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I really like it.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Were you at that meeting where they talked about this program at all?
Yeah, I think so. I can't really remember
Yeah, that's all right. No worries.
specific
Um,
ones. Yeah.
and aside from that, what do you do for work?
Um, I I'm kind of inspector for oil and gas plants.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of cool. You probably dealt with my husband a little bit. He works in oil and gas as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so I know you're dying to know, so let me tell you exactly why I'm visiting with you today. My job is to go over those no-cost benefits. They've already been set up for you. And then I'm going to go over some additional benefits that you might qualify for. So, you know, my company, American Income, works with over 20,000 different local labor unions, credit unions, and associations throughout the whole United States. And look, whether you like the unions, which you do, everyone agrees that they have great benefits, right?
Yeah, yeah, they do.
Yeah, and a big reason for that is because of their relationship with American Income for the past 60 years. So as you can imagine, they have me running around like crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and I'll jump right into those no cost benefits.
So,
Okay, so your first one, Dylan and Mary, is the Child Safe ID Kit mobile app, which is endorsed by the International Union of Police Associations. So I'm sure you know a bunch of families with kids, right?
yeah, yeah, we do.
Yeah, with all your littles, right? Did you know that Texas leads the nation in abductions? And did you know
No,
that, oh, you didn't? And did you know that 90% of those children that aren't found in the first 24 hours are never found?
wow.
So I'm going to walk you through downloading the app. Um, so if you can take your phone out real quick, and I'm going to
Okay,
have you go to the App Store,
okay,
and then you're going to type in child safe. And it looks like this. I don't know if you can see this. It looks like child safe.
okay, okay,
Okay. And it'll
okay,
populate once you download. Um, you'll just go in and sign up, create an account, and then you'll be able to plug in all your children, and you'll be able to plug in other families that you would like to refer to.
okay, okay.
Okay. I'm going to show you a QR code that you can use here.
Okay.
Um, just a second. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you this QR code. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah, perfect.
Yep, you can scan that.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So now you can imagine if your child went missing, can you see how this would be very important?
Yeah.
And being the endorsed company by the International Union of Police Associations, they're asking that you refer at least 5 families for this app. You mentioned you knew some families with children, and everyone always wants to put down 100 families, right? So let's just start with those people that are close to you. Who comes first in mind?
Um, let's do um let's do Blake. He's got some
Okay.
kids.
Okay.
And then we'll do Garrett,
Okay.
and then we'll do Leslie,
Okay.
and let's do Jermaine,
Okay. Perfect. And any more?
and I think that's gonna be like
Yeah, no worries. Okay, while you're finding the last one, I can talk about the next one. So, Dylan and Mary. The next one is a AIL plus discount card. And how are your benefits through work, Dylan?
okay.
Okay. So you're gonna absolutely love this one because I'm sure you know by now that you can't rely on your group benefits since you don't control them and that they could change at any time. So this no cost benefit will help with some of those gaps by giving you an 85% discount on things like dental, vision, prescription drugs, hearing aids, telemedicine. I don't know about you, but I use telemedicine all the time. My daughter was sick, booked a quick appointment over the phone, had to pay my $50 sit visit yesterday. So I could have used that 85% off $50. I would have used that yesterday. So people always tell me that they didn't think they'd use it very much, but then they find themselves using it all the time. So again, it's no cost. It's good to get that extra peace of mind. You'll receive an activation email within the next few days, so be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. So do you have any questions at this time?
No.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to move on. The next one is your AD&D, which is your accidental death and dismemberment certificate. So I'm going to share with you what that's going to look like. Okay, so here, this is a no-cost accidental death and dismemberment certificate. So Dylan, this is a living benefit that pays you $2,000 for the loss of one hand and one foot, or sight in one eye, and double that amount, so 4,000 if you lose two. And for Mary, this is a death benefit that would pay you 4,000 should Joe die accidentally. So I know that 4,000 doesn't seem like all the money in the world, but Mary, if Joe died, his paycheck also dies with him. So you could see how this could help you, right? If something were to happen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So let me go ahead and email this certificate for your records. So be a lookout for that, and you'll get it in your email.
Okay.
Now for that, one more thing I need to do is I need to put down 2 emergency contacts on here in the event that something were to happen and you guys die together. It would be wise if they lived in Texas, over the age of 18, and living outside of your home. So who would be your first contact?
Let's put my dad.
Okay, let's put dad and his phone number.
325 721 4316.
Okay, perfect. Do we have any more? We need one more.
Let me put my mom.
Okay.
and her number is 932-624
Perfect.
4314.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you real quick. I need you to grab your phone and I need you to take down our office number. So if your family gets so your family gets the money that they're entitled to, you have your phone there with you?
Yes. Ready when you
Okay.
are.
Okay, so I want you to type in 832-327
Okay.
0800, and you can save that under American Income.
Okay.
So I'm going to be calling your emergency contacts. So I'm going to be calling mom and dad, just so they know what to do in the event of a claim. So if you could please give them a heads up so they'll be hearing from me. In addition, if they choose, they'll also have access to this thanks to you. So you can tell them what I'm going to talk to them about.
Okay.
Okay, so now Dylan, this policy is just on you. But the second part of this benefit is that you can extend this to your closest family members and friends at no cost to you or them. So, how this works, let's say, God forbid, dad were to die in an accident. A $2,000 policy, just like yours, will pay out to his family at no cost to you or them. So, all you're doing is giving them the option to take advantage of this, just like you did. And the ability to extend this is tied to my visit with you today because of your enrollment period. So it's really important not to prejudge anyone's situation and let them decide for themselves. So now they give you
Okay.
20,000 worth of this benefit, which means you can extend it up to 10 families. So obviously your emergency contacts will automatically be included. Um, so dad and mom will already be there. And that leaves you with 8 more. So you mentioned that you had some friends, Blake, Garrett, Leslie, Jameen. Would you like to extend that to them, or do you have some more that we'd like to add?
Let's put it with them. That's
Okay.
kind of about the
All
only
right.
people that I really associate with.
Okay, perfect. So I'll include them with that one as well. And so I want to make sure that you give the families this extended no cost benefit a call or a text, letting them know that I'll be calling them in the next few days. As long as they have that heads up, they're really happy. But if I call them and they don't know who I am or why I'm calling, sometimes they get confused and then they'll be upset with me. So please, please let them know. Can you make sure that you'll let them know that I'll be calling them?
Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Dylan. So Dylan and Mary. Now I'm going to jump into reviewing some exclusive benefits that you must qualify for. So all of the families that I see, they love this part. It's why 20,000 different groups have handpicked American Income to handle their permanent and portable benefits for the past 60 years. So the next time you're at your union meeting, make sure you thank them for getting this for you, all right?
Okay.
So first, we're going to start with the needs analysis software. And the reason that most people don't have the right coverage is they don't know what they need. This software is designed to expose any concerns or gaps that you may have. So what I'm going to do is ask some questions from the survey, and based on that information, it may or may not make recommendations. If it does, I'll definitely review those with you, and if it doesn't, then I'll have nothing to review. So before I do, let's go over and jump into the survey. I have only three preliminary qualifications to review with you real quick. So you must be a member of an authorized group, which you're good here, or sponsored by someone. You must have an active checking account with a bank or credit union. Who do you bank with?
Bank of America.
Okay, and do you have an active checking account with them?
Hmm.
Perfect. Okay, and then number 3 refers back to 2020. Have you or anyone in the household been diagnosed with COVID-19 virus in the past?
Yeah, but it was a long time ago.
Okay, like back when it first started. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
We got lucky. We didn't have to go through any of that.
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So the next few questions go into our needs analysis software. So let's go. let me hop right in here. Let me just pull up some information. Okay, so monthly income. The biggest concern that families deal with when it comes to handling the concerns is affordability. And they have this set up where if there are concerns, it would be based on a 1 hour's wage per week. So to make sure it's accurate, what is a ballpark figure for your monthly income?
How about 12,000?
Okay. All right. Now the next question is, Dylan and Mary, I know this isn't a typical dinner time conversation, but if you do two decided or discuss what you're going to do when it comes to a funeral, are you going to do a cremation or in ground?
It'll be a funeral. It's the regular.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Now your benefits, I see a lot of families, some of them will get life insurance outside of work. So because you know what happens to the group benefits, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So do you have life insurance outside of work?
Um, I do, but I don't remember what it is. I know it's not a lot though.
Okay. Okay, that's perfect. Um, we'll just put you down that you have some, and we have a question mark. So do you get death benefits through work?
I do.
Not really
I think it's
familiar
just
with
like,
how.
yeah, I think it's just like a $10,000, burial policy type deal.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Perfect. Did they let you pick that out? Or did it just get set up that way?
No, it was kind of just what everybody else got whenever they came and set us up.
Ah, okay, okay. That makes sense. I know exactly what that is. Okay. So now do you rent or own?
We own with a mortgage.
Own with a mortgage. Okay. What's the balance of that mortgage?
About 194,000.
194. And do you know how many years you have left?
Um, 18, I believe.
Okay, perfect. All right. And how much debt aside from the house, would you say you have?
Mm, how about 60,000?
Okay, perfect. All right. Um, all right. I'm just getting some things pulled up on my side here. You guys get all that snow?
No, we actually didn't get any this round.
Oh, good. We got so much, I don't even know what to do. There's so much snow.
I love the snow.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I came from Canada, right?
Gotta love the snow.
Yeah. Okay. So I just plugged in all that information. Now before I go any further, it looks like that the needs analysis found some gaps in your coverage. So I have this mandatory read off letter here that I have to read to you. But can I just explain it to you? Like just you and I just go over it.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. Let me show it to you real quick. It's a whole bunch of really small, oops, it's a whole bunch of really small letters. So, um, this is what it looks like here. So, I'd probably have to zoom in if I were going to read that. I don't know about you, but what it's basically saying is that as I'm going through your benefits, you're not in your head thinking, "Wow, these are some great benefits," and I can see why 20,000 of those groups approve this and why everyone's doing it. So then I'm going to go ahead and ask you to apply today. On that flip side, if I'm going through these benefits and you're thinking to yourself, these are really some great benefits, but they just don't fill a need for me and my family right now, then I'm going to actually ask you to not apply. Either way, yes or no, that decision does have to be made today. So during your service period, in fairness to all the other members waiting to enroll, you'll see that that what they did is they set it up to be a no-brainer. It's going to be an easy yes or no. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So what yeah, so whatever you decide to do, they do want you to give your opinion in a Google review, which is sort of like my report card. And I try to get 5-star rating every time, so it's important if you stop me if you have any questions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so Dylan, would you stop me? Or Mary, would you do the same? Would you stop me if you had any questions?
Yes, I will.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna bring up we're gonna go over just a list of concerns. I'm gonna read through them with you. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay.
Okay, so our first list of concern is our co-pays, deductibles, and lost wages. So health insurance pays the doctors, but members lose those wages due to time off work and out-of-pocket expenses, right? Then
Yeah.
the next concern is the funeral and final expense. So many families don't just have 14, 15, $20,000 kicking around to put somebody in the ground. Did you know that an average funeral right now is between 15 and 20?
No, I didn't know that.
And that's like your pine box special. Like you're in the back corner, you don't get shade. Nobody can find you. You got to take a left, right, left, right. Like you
Right.
don't get a fancy bench in your name.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is paycheck. When a member dies, what happens, Mary? What happens when Dylan dies? What happens to his paycheck?
I don't get it anymore. Or she doesn't get it anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Um, and the next one is your mortgage and rent. So a lot of families, what happens if that paycheck doesn't come in? How does Mary afford what both of you were combined making, right? Therefore,
Uh-huh.
she may not be able to make that mortgage. We got to move. We got to take the kids out of school. They got to lose their friends. We hope they're not in high school. It could just be a mess. So the next one is your children's protection. This benefit provides through the job, or typically they're not permanent. So for children, and that can create a risk. And then an unexpected death could also jeopardize your future. Um, and then a terminal illness, especially cancer. I'm sure you know somebody who has cancer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So in males, it's really high. Females after the age of 50, whew, it just skyrockets.
Right.
So, according to the American Cancer Society, men have a 1 in 2 lifetime chance of developing or dying from cancer, and for women, it's 1 in 3. So, if you're sitting in a room, you and Blake are sitting in a room, either you or him is going to get it. That's scary. Um, the other concern is group benefits. So the group benefits are great, but they can change. And also, you lose your benefits when you retire, right?
Yeah.
So when you're done with your job, they're not going to keep giving you benefits. Okay, the last one is affordability. So now let's take care of all these concerns. Um, and it's usually just way too expensive. So we sit down with people making $7 an hour. We sit down with people making 77. Some are working tons of overtime, some are retired or laid off. So regardless of that situation, they wanted this to be affordable for everybody. The way that they set this up, Dylan, is let's imagine your boss came to you at work and tells you that because things have been going so well, we're going to start paying you 41 hours instead of 40. Now with that hour, are you going to tell Mary, "Hey, let's go get some matching Ferraris."
No, probably not.
No, right? You're not going to book that dream vacation. We're going to the Seychelles. We're flying 15 hours.
No, probably
No.
not.
On that flip side, let's say work is a little bit slow and your boss comes up to you and tells you that instead of laying you and some of your coworkers off, we're going to send you all home an hour early on Friday. So you're going to be working 39 hours instead of 40. Are we going to cancel Netflix?
No.
Is your son not going to be able to play soccer anymore? No. So the idea is that 1 hour is not going to change your lifestyle. And that's why they set it up this way. So let me show you that 1 hour takes care of all of your concerns. So let me just get this set up. Does your son play soccer?
Yeah, he did for a little bit.
Oh, he does. Okay. I know my daughter tried soccer at one point and I think she lasted like 2 weeks. I'm not even joking. She was like, Mama, this is too hard. This is too much running.
Yeah, I personally don't like soccer just for that reason right there.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's go over this two job worksheet here. We got job A on the left and we got job B on
Okay.
the right.
Okay.
Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so job A, you're making 14.75 a week, right? So now
Okay.
let's say another job opens up and we'll call this one job B. With job B, you have the same group benefits, same coworker, same responsibility, same everything. The only difference is that the income, instead of 14.75 a week, you're making 14.35 a week. Okay. Which is about 1 hour's wage difference. So like you said before, it wouldn't change anything for you. So they took that hour that didn't mean very much already, and they decided to put it towards something that would make a difference, which is handling these concerns in a very simple, straightforward way. So first, like I said before, the health insurance and the group benefits are great, but they don't cover everything. So on the first one, this accidental injury and outpatient care, it's going to pay you $100 every time you go to the doctor or an urgent care or hospital. So we're going to put that 100 right here. What do you get on this side? 0. Okay, now for this one, whether that's a bumper bruise or a bee sting, and you end up overnight in the hospital, we're going to pay you $200 a day. And we're going to pay double that. We're going to pay $400 for an intensive care. So let's say you have an accident and end up in the hospital for 5 days. By having this in place, it would pay you $1,000 tax-free. So here you go. You're in the hospital, Mary. I know you might have had to get a hotel. You have to eat out. You got to eat Wendy's. Here's $1,000 for those 5 days. That could be beneficial, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So on top of that, you'll get 10,000 for the loss of any hand or foot or sight in one eye. And guess what? We're going to double that if you lose both. So look at your foot right now. That foot's worth
Hmm.
$10,000. That's a pretty important foot.
That's
If you
pretty expensive foot.
if you ask me. And the last part of this the last part of it is you get $100,000 right here. You get $100,000 on an accidental death, depending on the type of accident. So as you see with your current job, none of that is covered for you, right? You see these zeros going in over here?
Yeah.
So we're going to change this. We go from 20,000 to $100,000, depending on the accident. Okay, now we got your freedom of choice. So that has to do with your funeral expenses. So there's a 100% chance you'll use this, right?
Okay.
So the freedom of choice will take care of the financial burden so that your family doesn't have to. And that freedom of choice has already been set up with every funeral home. So no matter what happens, no matter where you're at, every funeral home knows about this. And your freedom of choice certificate is worth $30,000. So like we said, an average funeral right now, anywhere between 15 and 20, depending on what you want it, right? You want to be in the front, you want to be in the back. It's up to you. But you have 30,000 to get Mary not a pine box. Let's get her a nice oak, something different, right?
Okay.
And that funeral home director, he'll simply call the number on the front of that certificate, and American Income will take care of everything for you, including sending the remaining money to your family tax free. So let's say we're somewhere out east Texas and it's not that expensive to go, and maybe she wants to be in the back, maybe she doesn't want to be in the front. The rest of that money will go to the family to help with everything else. So they're using that permanent benefit to fund your freedom of choice. And that way it's there when it's not, if your family needs it. So, Mary, on the worst day of your life, you can see how this can make things a lot easier for you and the three kiddos, right? And
Yeah, for sure.
right now, this is what you have on the left, job A. And so the we're gonna go and the spouse gets the same. So Mary, you get the same. So Dylan, if something happens to Mary, you also get 30,000. Okay,
Okay.
now we're gonna go down into the income protection. So Mary, when something happens to Dylan, you're probably gonna miss him, of course, right? Please say yes. Don't say no.
Yeah. Yes.
But but after a few weeks go by, aside from missing Joe, what else do you think what your family's gonna miss?
My income for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So this program provides a total of 100,000. Gotta add one more zero. Coverage for you for 60 months or 5 years. Okay. Now Joe or Dylan, statistically, if you were to die during your working years, it's probably not going to be a health issue like a stroke or a heart attack, right? It's probably going to be
Yeah.
due to an accident. So this is funded by an accidental death benefit to save you money. Okay. Let's see here. And how much does Mary make again?
Around 3,000.
Okay. We're gonna put hers. We're gonna put hers there as well. Okay. All right. So now we're moving on to the mortgage. So besides their income, the next thing that people want secured for their family is their home. And that's exactly why the benefit software is recommending mortgage protection for you. So your program includes $100,000 of coverage here for you and Mary. If you were to statistically, if you were to die during your working years, and it's probably like we said, it's probably not going to be health or stroke or anything like that, right?
Right.
Now we're going to move on to the Children's College Fund. So the next is it found that it had to do with your children's future education. So you got three. Most families I see tell me that they want their kids to have the option of going to college. I know it was provided for me, and I would love to give that to you. So statistically, the biggest thing that would prevent that is if the kids lost one or both of their parents while they're minors. So the benefit software is giving you $100,000 right here for their college fund, which breaks it down to 50,000 or 25, about 25 each. That's huge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So they can go anywhere. They can go to LSU if they wanted to, right? They don't just have to go to a little college out in Midland, Texas. They can go somewhere big. So now we'll move on to the children's life insurance right here. As we see, these zeros are just adding up on this side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So also included is a special $10,000 life insurance plan for all your children, 18 and younger. So when they turn 21, they can convert this to 5 times that amount or 50,000. So right now we're going to put 10,000 right here for your life insurance. But I'm going to change that because You don't have one kid. You have three kids. So we're going to change that to 30,000 right there. And having this in place may be key to getting coverage later on, when they may otherwise not be able to qualify. So you're setting this up for them now. And then when they get older, they can convert that. And I can take care of all that for them when they get older. So now we're going to move on to the terminal illness rider. Another important feature of this program is that if you were diagnosed with a terminal illness, we talked about cancer, you can access half of your freedom of choice and your income protection while you're still alive. So they're providing you with 65,000, not 650, 65,000 for this fund. So Dylan and Mary, this gives you the chance to put your family in the best situation financially if you get the worst news imaginable. And the remainder of this benefit would pay out to your family as a death benefit. So your current benefits, guess what number I'm going to put here? A zero. Because you don't get any of that right now. So as you can see, they thought about pretty much everything. And also included is your layoff. You also get permanent, portable, and strike layoff. So unlike your group benefits, which you can lose, these benefits are permanent and portable. So if you leave your job, retire, or leave a union, or you keep all this. In addition, if you are on a qualified layoff, you know what happened just recently in the strike? They'll cover the benefits for you for 3 months. So if you're ever in a situation where you have a qualified strike, it's up to 12 months. So this way, you and your family, you don't lose those benefits when you really, really need them the most. And by the way, you never have to pay that back. So you can see how this is all like, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
look at this. We got a whole bunch of money on the right-hand side with job B, and we got nothing on the right or on the left. So Dylan,
Yeah.
Mary, you see that I've reviewed everything with you guys. And I'm sure you can see why 20,000 groups chose this program above all. And why more families have our program than any other companies because of the value and the full circle of protection it can provide. I mean, Dylan, if something were to happen to you, like a bad car accident, you and your family would receive almost $242,000 tax free, all for about 1 hour's wage per week with your current job. There's no guarantee that your family would receive anything with your current job that you're in right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So Dylan and Mary, if you went into work tomorrow and you had a choice between job A and job B, which would you take?
Job B for sure.
And why would you do that if you're making more money in job A?
Because of all, I mean, all the benefits.
Right. It's a no-brainer. That's what everyone says. Okay, so we'll move on. Now that we agree that we really like job B, we're gonna move into some health questions. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen with you and we can go through these together. Um, So, like I said, you have to get qualified first. So let me run through these questions and let's see if you can qualify. Okay, we'll start at the top. So has any proposed insured ever been treated or advised to be treated for alcoholism or alcohol abuse?
No,
Okay. Has anybody ever used drugs not prescribed by a physician, such as cocaine, amphetamines, barbiturates, or hallucinogens?
no,
Okay. Has anybody ever had their driver's license suspended or revoked?
no,
Has anybody flown within the last 2 years or intended to fly in the future as other than a passenger?
no,
Okay. Has anybody participated in the last 2 years or intend to participate in any of the following activities? Auto racing, motorcycle, boat racing, parachute jumping, skin or scuba, skydiving?
no,
Okay. Has anybody ever been advised to take tests, not done so, or not receive the results, or been diagnosed as having received treatment for high blood pressure, chest pain, heart attack, stroke, or any heart, blood, or circulatory disorder? No. Okay. Has any proposed insured ever had or been treated for any of the following conditions? Diabetes or endocrine disorder?
No.
All right. Paralysis, epilepsy, mental disease, nervous system, brain disorders? Okay. Has anybody ever had arthritis, injury, or trouble with your back, knees, or any of your joints?
No.
All right. And to the best of your knowledge, do you believe that you believe knowledge and belief, do you have any physical impairments or departure from good health?
No.
Sorry, that was a little tongue twister there. Has anybody ever been rejected for life insurance or medical hospital insurance?
No.
Has anybody in the last 5 years had a physical examination? So have you or Mary had a physical in the last 5 years?
No.
Okay. Um, any medical treatment or been hospitalized? Mary was hospitalized, correct, with last baby?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And was it an extended stay or was she just in the hospital for the baby?
Yeah, it was just we were in there for 2 days. She had a
Okay. All right.
C-section.
Oh, okay. Has anybody currently a resident in a nursing home or been diagnosed to have a terminal illness, including Alzheimer's?
No.
All right. Ever been treated for any of the following: asthma, emphysema, sleep apnea, respiratory? All right. Any ulcers, colitis, or digestive disorders?
No.
Kidney, prostate, urinary bladder, or genitourinary disorders?
No.
All right. Disease of the breast, uterus, or ovaries? This would be Mary. Okay. Um, rheumatoid arthritis, musculoskeletal disorders, right. Loss of hearing or loss of sight. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS, ARC.
No.
All right. Has anybody tested positive for AIDS? That'd be a no.
No.
Um, does anybody smoke cigarettes or tobacco in your house?
No.
Okay. Has anybody used marijuana in the last year?
No.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm not the underwriter, but based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like I should be able to get you qualified for the benefits based on that QR checklist I just read off to you. Um, and the first thing that the checklist had talked about were the way that the benefits are handled. So let's go on here. All right. So I stopped sharing my screen with you. You should be able to see my face again, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So Dylan and Miriam, almost everyone takes advantage of this program. You know, like you, because of the value and the cost is very small compared to the many benefits. Now it's very rare, but sometimes a member cancels. It could be a week or a month or a year. And we end up seeing these same people the next service period. So 2 or 3 years later. And they're upset because they're no further ahead than where they were. And most people end up wanting to reapply for those benefits. And the problem is that now the program is more expensive because they're older. So worse yet, some people can't even get into it anymore because their health has changed. Right? You heard all those QR questions I just read you. Some of them are
Yeah.
pretty common. You probably know some people with some of those that are on that QR checklist, right? So the point is that it's not a short-term fix, it's a long-term solution. And the longer that you're into this program, the more valuable it is. So if this $130 a month is uncomfortable for you, then let's fix it right now. So how does everything feel?
Oh, it feels good.
Yeah, you're getting a lot. You're getting a lot for
Yeah,
that $130 a month, right? You're getting peace of mind.
right.
So I also want to emphasize that the first draft is going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours, but that your bank might not reflect that on it for up to 10 days. So I want to make sure that we're good with that 130 and that money will be there.
Yeah, it'll be there for sure.
Okay. If there are any issues, this creates a lot of headaches for both of us and it reflects poorly on me because it makes me look like I pressured you into something and I don't want that. So we're good to go for that 130. I just want to double make sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so perfect. Then let's please make sure to keep that these important documents in place for your family, and that the next time we see you, you'll probably be really happy that you did.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You have a great night.